read an article recently that said more and more women and men are getting plastic surgery, fillers, and Botox because they don't like the way they look on video calls. I wish that these people understood that they can make themselves look so much better and younger on these video calls if they pay attention to two important things. The first thing is lighting. Lighting is 70% of what makes you look better on camera. I actually made 2 videos, one on how to light yourself better and one on my favorite light that I use for video calls. I will link them. The other thing is makeup. Now, I have some experience doing on-camera makeup from being an actress and being a makeup artist. You really need to wear makeup whenever there is a camera in front of you, especially nowadays with HD and 4K. So you really need to learn how to hone in on your makeup skills to look better on camera. And you don't have to wear a ton, you just have to do it right. So in this segment, I am going to show you my techniques on how I look younger on camera.
Oy vey.
Here I am with no makeup on, so the least you could do is hit that subscribe button for me humiliating myself and trying to reach 1K subscribers. Okay, so my skin is moisturized. The first thing I'm going to do is that I am going to put some eyelid primer on my eyes because I like it to sit for a bit and set. I think it's really important to use an eyelid primer before putting on your shadow for camera, video conferencing, whatever, because these colors sometimes don't show up that much on camera as they do in real life, and putting on the eyelid primer really helps the eyeshadow to adhere and also last a little longer. So the first step, and what I think is really important, especially when you're older and have more mature skin, is that a really good foundation is key. Youthfulness equals nice skin. So you really want that part to be the thing that you spend the most time on and probably spend the most money on. I mean, you don't have to break the bank, but make sure that you have a quality foundation. I mix 3 because I have combination skin. I tend to use a color that's a little darker than my skin because I use so much SPF and my face is always paler than the rest of me, so that's why it might seem like it's a little dark. I like to use a foundation brush. I know a lot of you like to use sponges. That's not my thing, but if that's your thing, go ahead and do that. And I'll just blend it in with the brush. I have my hair clipped back, so this way I don't get it in my hair because I tend to do that. My hair gets in my face a lot. As you can see, I'm doing a very light coat. I'm not like making it heavy. You can already see the difference. And it hides some of the dark spots that I have from sitting in the sun when I was younger. Blend it into my neck. Take like whatever's left over here and just blend it right here, just in case. This is where my pores are really bad, my forehead. I have tried everything. I'm trying to do like these masks. I'll review them soon in another video, but my pores are just the thing that I fight with the most. Okay, you can already see, hopefully, I have a monitor here, so if I look down, that my skin looks better already. And then what I'll do is, I'll just take the brush and I'll go into the dry spots of my face, like by my nose, my upper lip, where I have all my wrinkles. And I'll just like kind of mush it in a little bit, blend it in a little more so it doesn't sit at the surface and it gets like cakey and then it makes the wrinkles look even worse. And then the next thing I'll do is put on concealer. Dark circles under our eyes, they look even worse on camera. I happen to have really bad ones. It's hereditary. I've had them my whole life. So I use this product called Dermacolor, and a lot of people use it to cover up tattoos, believe it or not. I've been using it for years. It's the only thing that works on my dark circles, and I have tried every product on the market, and it'll last a little bit, but nothing covers it the way that this brand does. What I do is that I put it on my finger and then I rub my fingers together because it's a little thick and a little drying, and I also have some eye cream on, so this way it doesn't get too cakey. And I use my fingers, I don't use a sponge, and I'll just tap it in. And look at that difference. I love this stuff, I really do. It's really great. I'll link it below. I'm gonna link everything, but I'm hoping, I contacted them, maybe they'll have some kind of coupon code for you guys. So that's pretty much it for my face. And you're probably wondering why I didn't set anything with powder. I sometimes use powder when I'm on camera, but I'm finding more and more that it's accentuating my wrinkles, and I don't want that to happen. So instead of going in with powder, I go to the places where I tend to get oily, and I use the Benefit Pore Professional. First of all, it gets rid of those enlarged pores that I have, but not only that, it almost soaks up some of the oiliness and it blurs some of my wrinkles. It's really strange, but it works for me. I'll show you. I'm going to just put it right up here where I tend to get oily and where I have a lot of pores, and I'm starting to get those 11 wrinkles. It was inevitable. Hey, I made it 53 years without it. And then I'll put a little bit on my chin because that's where I get oily as well and have some pore problems. And I don't know if you could see it, but it's a lot better. Okay, so now I am going to go in with my eyeshadow because my eye primer is nice and set. I use this palette from Smashbox called Full Exposure. They're sold out of it at the moment, but I love this palette. This is my go-to palette for like an everyday look. It even has some colors that you can use for, you know, upping the ante if you're going out at night or whatever. I just love this palette. It's great for my skin tone. So I will go in with this like peachy white color and put it on my lid. And I wanted to tell you that I see a big mistake, and I've talked about this before. A lot of women, when they go to put on their eyeshadow on their eyelid, they just go crazy and go like a window washer, and that just makes everything go everywhere. You want to kind of like press it in to really go on your eyelid. And you can see it's a really nice color. It's not too chalky. It's not like, you know, too shimmery. And then I'll take what is ever left over on it and just go over the rest of my lid just to even out the color a bit. And then you can do a little window washing because there's not much left on there. And I don't know if you could see the difference, but kind of looks a little better. It took care of some of the discoloration that I have. I'll do my other eye. And that's all you really need. You don't need to go crazy with that. I know a lot of people say, well, you don't really have to contour, but I feel like when you're on camera, it really helps, and you don't want that one color to look flat. You want to look a little three-dimensional. And I go in with a color that's not like too dark. It's like a brown, kind of neutral. So I'll just go in with that. I just press and press on the other side just to get most of the color deposited. And then I'll take another brush. Don't take the one that you just used because you want to blend it. And when you blend it, you want to use a clean brush. And then I'll just go and kind of go in circular motions. And it just keeps the the peach eyeshadow from looking very one-dimensional. I don't know, the camera's picking it up. This could be a total disaster. This is why I don't do too many of these, but you know, let's see, maybe it'll work. So another very important element in your makeup when you are on camera is your eyebrows. They tend to get lost because, you know, you're under some lights and everything tends to get blown out. And as we get older, our eyebrows, they just disappear, especially if you overpluck them when you were younger. So I go in with a powder. Some of you use a pencil, that's fine, no problem. First, I'm gonna just brush them a little bit in case some of the eyeshadow got on there. Now my eye powder set has 2 colors in it. I'm not gonna hold it up because it's really dirty, but I'll just insert a picture right here. I go in with a lighter color and I use an eyebrow brush and I'll go in. I have to use my magnifying mirror for this. This is not gonna cut it. Hopefully you could see. And I'll go in and I'll go in on the end first. And the reason why I do this is that you don't wanna start in the front because that's where most of the color is going to deposit, and then it'll look angry. It's going to look dark here and lighter here. So you want the darkness more towards the end, and more towards the end is where you have most of the fallout anyway, and it's thinner there, so you want to make it stand out more. Then I'll go in to the front and kind of connect it. Now you see the difference in the eyebrows? It also gives me the illusion that my eye is lifted. So lifted eyes equals more of a youthful look. And I didn't have to get any filler. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eyebrow. Okay, so those are the eyebrows. And now I will go in with eyeliner. And I do a little eyeliner before I curl my lashes because I really want to get in there close to the lash line. And I am finding since I've gotten older that less eyeliner is better. I didn't think that was true, but when I did comparisons of videos where I wore heavier eyeliner, it did age me. So I'm finding a lighter touch is better. I love this gel liner. It's from Urban Decay. Again, I'll link everything below. It's really good. It glides on well and it doesn't come off. So I need my magnifying mirror to do this. So let's go in. And we'll just go as close to the lash line as possible in strokes. You can drag it out towards the end just a little bit if you'd like. You can always go back and fix it after you curl your lashes, and now I'm going to curl my lashes. I know some of you don't like to, I like to because I have very long lashes, but they tend to droop down. Now, do you see the difference? This eye looks so much more lifted and it looks more three-dimensional. I don't line the bottom because I have very droopy eyes and they're big. But if you don't want to line the bottom but feel like your eyes look small, you can just take like a dark brown eyeshadow and with a very light touch, just take an eyeshadow, a thin eyeshadow brush and just go over your lower lash line, and that's just as good. So I'm gonna do the other side now. Okay, so that's both eyes done with the eyeliner and the curling of the lashes, but now I'm going to take it to the next level and put on mascara. My favorite one that does everything. It volumizes, it thickens, it curls, it does it all. It's from Charlotte Tilbury. It's my favorite go-to. It does everything. And I only do the outer 2/3 of my eyes because I have very droopy eyes, like I said before, and I just want a little lift. I won't even go in here in those little guys because I really don't even care. It's such a big difference. I'm gonna get up real close to this so you can see. See the difference? I'm gonna do the other one. I didn't put on like a really thick coat. You can go in and put another coat if you'd like, but you know, it's more like a natural look. I just want to look good on camera. I want to look like me, but better, you know, because these cameras are so good now. I mean, now they have 4K. I'm still trying to get used to myself looking how I look in HD. Let's move on to highlighter and blush. Now, I know some of you don't want to use highlighter. I think it gives you more of a youthful look if it's done right. So I take my highlighter brush, put it in my highlighter, and I just do very little bit right up here. And what that does is it just lifts your face a little bit. And yes, I do my highlighter first before my blush. That's just the way I do it. I think it just blends better that way. There's no science to it, I just do it. Then I'm gonna go in with my blush. You don't have to use anything crazy, just something to give you a little color. And I like to start here. I think that looks more natural. and then I go around. This way most of it gets deposited here and not here, which can sit next to your marionette lines when you're older and make you look bad. We don't want that. So just a little bit of color, nothing crazy. So that just gave me a little color, and the highlighter kind of lifted my cheeks. I don't know if you could tell the difference. I can. And now lips. A lot of women don't like to use lipstick. They like to use lip gloss. They feel like the lipstick kind of ages them as they get older, or sometimes they don't even like to use lip gloss because they say it goes into their lines. But if you do it the right way, you can make your lips look bigger and youthful. I have no lips, and I have lip lines on my upper lip. I used to have thicker lips when I was younger. As I got older, it's really bad. I'm so tempted to get them plump. Not crazy, but I just hate the thought of injecting myself with anything. If you had it done and you want to talk about it in the comments below, let me know. I line my lips. I know a lot of people are against that. Whatever. I use a pinkish color because I want to pump up my neutral lipstick just a little bit. And when I line my lips, I use a very light hand. I will over exaggerate the top a little bit. Not crazy. I also don't go all the way into the corner because it can bleed and it kind of downturns your lips. So just go right before you hit that corner. And the trick to making it look natural is fill it in. Don't just leave a line. Okay, so that's done. Then I will go in with a lip stain, and I use the City Lips matte. I'm an affiliate with City Lips. I think they make excellent, excellent lip products. They last, they don't dry out your lips. So I'll go in with that. And I'll use my finger too to really get a thin layer. I should be doing it like this so you could see that. This is why I'm not popular for making these types of videos. These matte lipsticks need to dry. If you don't let them dry and you go to put your gloss on, it doesn't look good and it doesn't last. So let that dry a little bit. My lips have been so dry because I had COVID. I actually made a video about it. I'll put it right up here. And it really dried me out. I'm so thirsty right now, but I can't stop. So I'm going to put on my gloss now. Now I put a little bit, and again, I use my finger so it's not too thick. I don't go to the corners because that can bleed as well. That's when you start to get the bad line. And then it just goes to the corners and you get anti-lips. You know what anti-lips are? Anti-lips are like, you know that auntie that you have? You know, she's sitting in the corner and she's having her drink and she just doesn't know how to do her makeup well anymore, and you know, her lip liner like gets into the corners. Yeah, bad anti-lips. And the trick is, if you don't want it to go all over the place and ruin what you did, why do women go like this? Like after when they're done. Like, don't do that. You put it on, it looks good, just leave it. Now, I feel like I'm just a bit more oily on the top here, so I'm just gonna add a little more of the Pores No More. I am not going to use powder. I mean, I don't understand this infatuation with powder. Actually, while I was sick, I watched a movie from the 70s, and there was a scene where all the women were in the bathroom, and all they did was open their compacts and take those little, you know, powder puff things, and they were just like going to town with all the powder. They were obsessed with the powder. I don't understand why people are so obsessed with that, especially in the 70s. I think that's why everybody started to do cocaine. It was all about powder, 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 powder. I even had this one casting director when I was acting more, and he would always say, powder yourself before you go in, powder yourself before you go in. Well, I just said to him, and I said, I'm over 40. If I powder myself, I'm gonna look like 50, 60. I wanna get this role. Like he was obsessed with using powder. And what did he know? He was a straight man. What did he know about makeup? That's basically it. This is my on-camera look. I mean, I know I gotta do something with this hair, but because I've been sick, I haven't had a chance to really have it done. I need a haircut, I need a dye job. That's a whole other video. So this is basically it, and I think it's kind of natural looking. I don't think it's too overdone. I didn't use a ton of products. I hope this video was helpful to you. Let me know in the comments below if you learned anything. Are you gonna try some of these techniques? And don't forget to watch that video about lighting and the light that I love, because lighting makes such a difference as well. Happy video conferencing.